for Nocode HQ, and in today's tutorial we're going to show you how to build a Google Chrome extension a bit similar like Honey, basically an automatically applying discount Chrome extension. So you basically have a database of discounts, however way you get them, and with this Chrome extension basically searches for discounts, applies them to the current page, and then inserts the discount code into the relevant input fields. And this is basically without writing a single line of code and just using your Bubble application as well as our Chrome extension integration, which you can purchase. And we have several videos explaining how to set that up. So what we have here right now, we already have our package ready, our Chrome extension package. It's also installed here called demo extension. And this is our Chrome extension page. So we're going to actually build our Chrome extension within this Bubble page called Chrome. Okay, so quite simple. I drag the Chrome extension plugin onto the page, and now we're good to go, and we can start building basically our Chrome extension here. Okay, so let me just remind you again what we want to do. So basically, we want to first of all, when a user is on a certain online shop, he or she should be able to open our Chrome extension, which would then search for discounts in the database. If there is a discount, the discount will be applied. If there's no discount, then we'll get some sort of error message or just general message. Okay, so we're gonna build this now in Bubble. So let's start off with just having a title here maybe, and this title should say discount Chrome extension, whatever. Okay, so let's just make that visible more easily. All right, perfect. So before I'm gonna head into the actual actions, let's actually set up our data structure. This will be quite important for this Chrome extension because we're going to create a new type and we're going to call it that discount. Okay, and then we're going to create a few fields. So first of all, we want to create obviously the discount code. Okay, so let's just call that discount code, and let's have that of type text. Then we want to have the actual name of the shop, but to be more precise, the URL of shop. Okay, we can just call that URL of shop. Okay, because obviously we want to apply different discount codes to different shops depending on what the URL is. Okay, and then at last we will need the element ID of the input where the coupons or discounts are applied. So let me just add that. I'm going to explain what that means in a second. As a demo, I just opened a standard shop here. This is the gymshark.com shop, which is a fitness apparel shop. And I went to the cart, I added one shirt to the cart, and I'm right here on the checkout page, which is the standard checkout flow by Shopify. You've probably seen this a lot already. All Shopify stores kind of have the same structure. And now obviously a bit the hard part comes about the manual piece of work, which maybe there's a way to automate that, but we're just going to go with the manual way. Obviously we'll have to find out where the discount input is, where the discount can be applied, and then obviously kind of feed in that information into your Bubble application. In this case, we immediately find the gift card or discount code field here, and we want our Chrome extension to automatically populate this. So how we're going to find out the information about this? Well, we're going to need the element ID. And you in Chrome, for example, it's quite simple. You just right click on that and you click on inspect. Okay. And then we have this input highlighted here, which we just had, the gift card or discount code. And then all we have to do is copy this ID equals part. In this case, the ID, the element ID is just checkout reduction code. Okay, because obviously the element ID will be different for all kinds of different shops. So if you're on Amazon or on Gymshark, or I don't know, all kinds of shops there are, obviously they have a different structure, always different element IDs. There would be another way. What we could also do is, if we're kind of too lazy to find out the element ID for all different shopping X or checkout pages, we could populate all inputs on the page. However, this wouldn't be ideal, because in this case, if we would populate every input here, we'd also populate all these fields with the discount code. Obviously, that's up to you. The way you source your data, obviously, that's not part of this tutorial. We just want to show you that it's possible and how to build something like this. So I think I copied the element ID for this input, and we're just going to paste that here in our database. If we're going to create our first field, basically, our first data field, all discounts, let's create a new entry. The discount, the element ID will be checkout reduction code. Okay, this is the element ID of the input for the shop. For the URL of the shop, well, we can just maybe have the main URL, which is gymshark.com. Okay, let's actually just have the gymshark.com part. And then we can have a discount code. Let's just have for discount code here, hello world. Okay, let's assume this is a valid discount code. Okay, and now we've basically created our first discount in our database. Obviously now you would probably want to, if you're building a real life Chrome extension for this use case, probably add thousands or 100,000s of more discount codes. So we have a huge database. We're just gonna stay with this one example here, basically. Okay, so let's head back now to design and let's actually start building. And it's going to be quite simple, nothing too much we have to add here. So I'm just going to add a button here, and this button should say search for and apply discounts. Okay, quite simple. Let's just have this here centered. And now obviously we want to add a workflow when this is pressed. Okay, before I'm going to do that, actually I'm just going to add a few more informational things. Let's add an alert here. Let's add a warning alert. Okay, let's actually change the style maybe like this. Okay, so this will be our warning alert. We can just have a random message here. You will see in a second. We want to position this at the top like this. All right. And we also want to have another alert, which should be our basically success alert. Okay. All right, we can just call that success. Great. So let's hide these two alerts, and now let's go ahead and build the actual workflow. So start at a workflow. When this is pressed, we want to first of all we want to go to element action, and you can see all the element actions you have access to via our Chrome extension plugin. In this case, we want to change the value by ID. Okay, we want to change the value by ID. However, we want to add a conditional. Only when do a search for, and actually before we do that, sorry, we just have to add one more step. We want to have an element action. Also, we want to get the current URL as the first step. Okay, great. So then in the second step, we want to say, okay, we want to change the value of an element by ID. However, only when do a search for discounts where the URL of the shop contains the Chrome extension's current URL. So just remember, we're getting the current URL of the active tab of the user. Okay, so we have access to that via this Chrome extension A's current URL. And then obviously we just want to apply a discount if we find a result, if we find a discount for this shop we're on right now. Okay, so only when search for discounts count is not 0. Then we want to apply discount. What discount do we want to apply? Well, quite simple. Again, element ID, we want to do a search for discounts where discount code, URL of shop contains Chrome extension's current URL. And then let's assume we always have just one URL in database. We want to have the first item's element ID. And we can just basically copy this expression and paste it here. And here we're going to apply the actual value, which is the discount code. Let me just finish the workflow. I'm going to explain it in more detail in a second. So then we want to show an alert. We want to show the success alert. We can say discount code applied like this. And we want to only show this if, again, we have found a discount. And then we can basically kind of add the opposite alert, which is the warning alert. And we can say, unfortunately, there was no discount found. Okay, then we can paste the conditional again. However, we want to change it slightly, not when there is a discount found, but when there is basically when the count is 0, when no discount is found, we want to show the alert message, the warning. So let me just go through that again. In the first step, we're getting the current URL. Just quite simply, in this case, we're on this shop called Gymshark, for example, and we're getting this URL of the user. Okay, so we know right now the user is on the Gymshark page. Then the second page, we are changing stuff, or changing the value of an element, but only when we did find a discount for this URL we're on right now. If we have that URL in our database, then we want to apply a discount. What discount do we want to apply? Well, we want to apply, again, the discount we have in the database for this URL. I want to apply the discount code. I want to target the element ID. So quite straightforward. And then again, if this was the case, if we found a discount, we want to show a success alert. And if we did not find a discount, well, we want to show a warning or just a not successful alert. And that's basically, this should work fine right now. So let's actually go ahead and test that, okay? So I'm gonna simply go here to our Gymshark page, okay? And what I'm gonna do now, let's just refresh the page maybe. Okay, so a small thing I just noticed I changed in hindsight is instead of having contains, we actually want to have the URL to exactly equal the current tab URL. So I changed this for all of these element actions here. And also in the database, you want to basically save the exact URL of the cart page instead of the general URL, which would be gymshark.com. So I just changed it accordingly. So let's try that now. So you can see again, we're on the cart page here. I'm just going to open the demo extension. It's loading, and we can go ahead and search for and apply the discount. So you can see discount code apply. We're seeing this alert message, and our discount code hello world was automatically applied. In this case, obviously it's not valid, but the discount code was found from our bubble database basically and inserted into this input via targeting the element ID. And obviously this would then work if you would have a bigger database with all the different discount codes, the different URLs of the cart pages, the checkout pages, and then obviously the element ID of the place where you insert a discount code. But as a general introduction, I think it's quite great to see what is possible, building real life Chrome extensions without writing a single line of code basically, and just using your Bubble application. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you guys for next tutorial with Nocode HQ. Bye.